As you probably know, to unlock this fog gate into Leyndell in Elden Ring, you must first defeat at least 2 Shardbearers throughout the lands between. And as we found out in another video, you must also have visited the Round Table Hold at least once. There's a fairly healthy selection of demigods to achieve this, fitting for such a big game. Even Rennala counts despite not being the true owner of the Great Rune herself, but there's certainly enough of them that it's very likely you won't even see this fog gate if you're playing normally. However, there are 2 Shardbearers that aren't fought very frequently, likely at all, to unlock this doorway. Mohg, Lord of Blood, and Malenia, Blade of Miquella. Naturally, I'm intrigued to see how feasible it would be to kill these, the 2 hardest, or at the very least highest level ones, as your first 2 Shardbearers. As a matter of fact, can you unlock this doorway at all with these 2? Would they count? Of course, there's at least one reason you might have already thought of, as for why it's not a typical choice of Shardbearers, aside from being the toughest, but we will address that when we get there. I also did my due diligence on this matter, and looked up ahead of time if there's any info that's relevant. There is one thing I found before even doing the run, but I won't give it away quite yet, to keep all surprises intact. Either way, it doesn't answer the full question, so this is just as much a mystery to me as I write this, as it'll be to you. Unless you've literally done it yourself. The first order of business is to get Torrent, of course, to speed things up. Then I went to get the Somber One, went to the woods to listen to Blythe, got the Snapping Gesture, called down Blythe, then summoned him for Darrowell, obviously to get the Bloodhound Fang, as an early weapon that can easily be upgraded. Blythe also gives me a Somber 2 right after this. In order to have some realistic chances of beating Mohg and Malenia, I will need some levels as well, so I am going to kill a good chunk of the bosses along the way to them, starting with the Tree Sentinel. After that I just skipped over Stormveil to get to Liurnia, as obviously killing Godric would ruin the testing. Melina offered to go to the Round Table, so I went ahead and did it already, since again, we apparently need that in order to open the Leyndell Fog Gate, so I just cleared that flag off. I also took this opportunity to get the Finger Seal here, because I did want to use Bloodfang Blade as well. I killed the Glintstone Dragon on the way across Liurnia for extra runes. Along the way my horse turned invisible for some reason. I got a Somber 3 in Caria Manor, and while I was at it, I did kill Loretta as well for the runes. I then took the trap chest to say a tunnel to get a Somber 4 in there, then proceeded to go outside to get a Somber 5 nearby. While here, I also took the chance to get the Somber 8 in Dragon Sparrow, and then die on the way to get the 9. After that I went back to Liurnia to take the Ravine, and went into the Precipice route for Altis in order to kill Makar for some runes as well, who killed me a few times somehow, but I reached Altis shortly after. Before reaching the Leyndell Gate, I went to Mount Gilmer real quick to get this Somber 6, and then I killed the double Tree Sentinels, after killing me a few times that is. Then the same with Draconic Tree Sentinel, and thus reaching the place of my trauma. As you can see, we are here with no Great Runes, and thus the pathway to Leyndell is still locked. Again, we need 2 to open it, but we're aiming to get Mohg and Malenia's. Now, if you're intricately familiar with the game, you've probably already identified a problem. Both Mohg and Malenia are primarily accessible from the consecrated Snowfields, which are only available after Leyndell. For Mohg, you do have a workaround with Varus questline, but in order to get that quest rolling, you do need to encounter the 2 fingers, meaning you need at least 1 Great Rune. So even this method is inaccessible to us for the testing we're doing. So, what can we do to bypass Leyndell? Well, been a while since you've seen this, huh? If you don't know what's happening, I performed the Pegasus glitch, which allows Torrent to run on air. This glitch has been patched out of the game years ago now, so how am I doing it? Well, this whole time I've been playing on the 1.02.3 patch of the game through Steam, which is the earliest patch you can access through Downpatching, albeit not the original release patch I believe. With this, we're able to basically go around Leyndell and reach the Forbidden Lands, allowing us to skip having to kill any Shardbearers for the meantime. I'm not going to teach how to do this glitch here, as it's long since been patched, but there are plenty of resources out there for both how to downpatch and how to perform this glitch. I'll have a few links in the description if you're really interested in this. Torrent has no easy way to go higher or lower, so I do need to use geometry to do both and dismount him in stable ground. After I regained footing, I went ahead and got this Somber 7 in this giant skull, the only one I needed outside of the max level Somber. Now once I reached the rolled lift to mount top of the giants proper, I actually have forgotten I need the rolled medallion to gain entry here, which you get after killing Morgott, despite this area only being accessible after him. Thankfully for us, there's another glitch we can abuse in this version, the general wrong warp that positions you in a different default location in your current area. Likewise, I'll put links to the description if you're interested, but with this, we're conveniently put right at the tippy top of the lift, meaning we can proceed through mountaintops. Before doing so though, I took a small detour because the Purifying Crystal tier is now accessible. So I went to get it, and on the way I got shredded by this blood dog. In case you didn't know, in very early patches, this dog had a bug where it could deal ludicrous amounts of damage per frame or something with one attack animation. I'm sorry dog, I'd forgotten your game. After coming back, I easily got the crystal tier from the invader person. Returning to the mountaintops, I was originally considering going to the Snowfields legit, but what the hell. We're already turning this into a glitch showcase, so why not show another classic one from back in the day, which possibly might still work in niche circumstances, the Stake of Marika skips. There's a few segments in the mountaintops that don't have a proper death box setup, so if you go far enough past it, you can bypass the death box and land all the way down here, where you will register a Stake of Marika, which conveniently is one in the consecrated Snowfields. Once again, link in the description. From here, there's not much left to do. I only took a moment to kill Anastasia for the max level Somber, but she didn't drop before me? I'm not sure if it was a bug or if they only patched her to drop this later on. Guess I'll just have to get another one. Finally, I just lured the Sanguine Noble Invader to fall off the ledge itself, and then I teleported into Mohg Palace. Thankfully for me, there is a Somber 10 right before Mohg, but I got stuck in midair and ended up dying. Alright. I got it after respawning, and of course went ahead and max leveled my Bloodhound Fang. So after that, I went up to our first Shardbearer, Mohg, Lord of Blood. I had some really good early attempts. I thought I might have had it in my first one, but I only have 30 vigor, so I wasn't in a place to take too many hits. The second attempt was even more clean in phase 1. I think you can have some pretty good scripts with this weapon. Not when I was falling, but it turned out well. Except I did get done in again in phase 2. From there I struggled a bit on follow-up attempts. I think I was just getting a little greedy and trying to end it faster with harder hitting attacks, instead of being patient. But after about 20 minutes, I didn't manage to kill him, netting our first great rune of the 2. Killing Mohg alone was nearly enough to get my vigor all the way up to 60, which will certainly be very crucial for the last boss coming up, Malenia. For a good measure, I went to check the Leyndell fog gate to see if it's still closed, and it was, as expected. But from there, all we need to do is get through Ordina, which thankfully was painless for me this time around. Fittingly, in the Hag tree I get a rematch with Loretta, which might be worse for her because she can bleed in this form, and despite being a little scary here and there, I did get her first try here too, as I did the first time. I mostly just run by the rest of the Hag tree, only really picking up the Dragon Crest Talisman for extra padding, and then here I am, at Malenia, Blade of Mikola. The first attempt didn't go so well, but hardly outside of what I expected. It has been a long time since I fought her. The second attempt did get her to phase 2, and it didn't actually go too poorly, but my flask didn't heal much of my health now that I'm on the higher end of vigor, so eventually I just got beat out in a battle of attrition. From here I figured it'd be smart to simply go and stock up on some resources, just to get it done in a timely fashion, and not just hit my head against the wall. So I got a ton of golden seeds, sacred tears, crystal tears, etc. just to give me an extra edge, which took around 30ish minutes before I went back to fight her. This turned out to be worth it because after only 15 more minutes, I got her down. With this, I finally had 2 great runes, which is everything I needed to theoretically open the doorway into Leyndell. As aside from having been to the round table, you only ever need any 2 great runes. So I went straight back to the doorway, and... Yo, let's fucking go! It does open! With just these 2, holy shit, that's so cool. Never gonna do it in normal gameplay, but that's so sick. Let's go. There you go. 10203, and then Calvo 1. That's just like the farthest you can go and Steam Downpatching. And here, if I talk to Enya, she should have new dialogue and give me that like task intelligence stuff too. I think that's also another little thingy that happens when you only have the 2. So.
My doubts, but look at you. Only once before have I seen true great. Fine, you have now to become the thing as much. become.
Yeah, I know. Again, just these two. So yeah, very satisfyingly, despite it not being possible through normal gameplay, both Mohg and Malenia's Great Runes count as part of the flags for opening Leyndell. Now earlier I mentioned that I did look up whether this has been discussed anywhere. The only thing I found was this Reddit thread where the question is posed, but mostly from Mohg, since you can do him legit for this. And a few people confirmed they've done or see it done to open the gate. No one pitched in for Malenia, understandably so, but among the discussion, Morgott gets brought up. Not Morgott, but nonetheless, it actually made me curious if he counts as well. With my curiosity piqued once again, I actually prepared for this and made a save file after killing Mohg to test if both brothers together would unlock the gate, as a little bonus for you. Now obviously Morgott is found within Leyndell, so we also need to glitch ourselves in there, as you can't go backwards from Forbidden Lands. You can actually fly in there with Torrent, but setting up this glitch is annoying, so I actually opted to do another wrong warp. This time I had to go all the way to Weepy Peninsula, get trapped by the chest that leads to the lift with that one golem, and from here I am able to wrong warp into Leyndell proper. As you can see, the gate is still blocked from the other side. I did a minor parkouring skip to get by faster to the base of the Leyndell, and just ran straight to Godfrey, who I promptly defeated, leading to Morgott, the Omen King. Fun fact, this animation of him crushing the cane to reveal the sword is a little different than how it is now in current patch. It doesn't have this fire effect anymore, which I actually found really cool. Not sure why they decided to cut it. Doesn't even look bad or anything. Now, I still have my plus 10 Bloodhound Fang, so as you can expect, it went the fastest out of all the Shardbearers in this run. So after quickly investigating the Thorn Door and talking to Malenia so we can warp out. Yo, there you fucking go. Wow, so literally any two Great Runes count. GG.